Well, the AIIB has been hailed as the next thing. Many have compared it to existing entities such as the World Bank and the Asian Development Bank. But how exactly does the AIIB work, and how will it differ from other global financial institutions? From on that, let's bring in my colleague Wu Haojun here in the studio. Good evening, Haojun.
Good evening.
So we know there are a lot of speculations and discussions about who will do what to this AIIB and how they will vote on each and every decision. Are we clear on those things?
Well, so yeah, the issue is settled for now, but matters such as voting rights and capital contribution will change in the future, and they're expected to change for that matter. Now, here's what the picture looks like at the moment. According to a statement released by China's Finance Ministry after the official signing, China, as you mentioned, is the largest shareholder of the AIIB with a subscription amount of close to $30 billion. That gives China a little over 26% of the votes in the bank. Meanwhile, India will have the second largest share in the bank, followed by Russia, Germany, and South Korea based on their separate capital subscriptions. But the numbers are not set in stone here. The ministry specifically mentioned that the initial stakes and voting rights of China and other founding members would be gradually diluted as other members join. However, this is what will not change. Countries defined as within the region, that means the broader Asia region and the emerging markets will hold no less than 70% of the stake within the AIIB.
Another thing that people have been talking about is the working mechanism of AIIB. It will be a major banking institution, but will it operate the same or differently from existing institutions like Asian Development Bank?
Yes, that's a great question. For some people who are saying that the AIIB will eventually replace the World Bank or the ADB, I think they're saying this more from a symbolic point of view. For one, from the point of the scope of business, the World Bank and the Asian Development Bank do lending across a broad spectrum. For example, they can get much more involved in social programs such as health and education and environmental issues. They also get involved in what's called program loans, which are essentially loans that provide money for the general budget that can use for any purposes, really. But the AIIB, on the other hand, will focus on specific infrastructure projects. And another key difference in the ways the AIIB and its peers are governed is that the AIIB may not have a so-called resident board of directors who sit in the headquarters every day like they do in the World Bank and the ADB. Proponents of this way of governance argue that this reduces unnecessary meddling by the board of directors. Instead, they're just here to set the rules, and the management and staff will be given more leeway to do their job more effectively and hopefully more efficiently. Back to you.
That will be very interesting. Thank you very much, Kevin, for your reporting.